the kind to wear a tie. Button up from 9 to 5. I tried that life but said goodbye. I'm not always polite, but I get the job done. Who says the work can never be fun? I'm simply unprofessional. Simply unprofessional.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Simply Unprofessional. I'm your host, Webby. Joining me tonight, we got Rob.
Hey, everybody, it's Rob.
And we got Devin.
Hey, everybody, it's Devin. How's it going?
This week, Devin gave us a couple anime episodes to watch. So, Devin, since you gave us the anime episodes, why don't you take it away, and we'll talk a little bit about each anime. I don't know if you want to go in the order in which you had us watch them.
Sure. The
if
three
you have
anime I had them
for
watch.
us, or...
The three anime I had them watch was first one was The Way of the House Husband. The second one was Shaman King, the 2021 series, and the last one was Parasite. Now they only watched one episode from each series, the first episode of each series,
all of which are on Netflix.
All of which are on Netflix, so that is one of the few things I am tied to for the most part is Netflix. Unless it's, I mean, I have other options, but my other options preferably need to be dubbed if I want to have any chance of Webby and Rob to some extent liking them to begin with. If I don't want to start in the negative points, I need to find dubbed anime. So here we are. Although I will say this, I did get a commitment earlier from Webby that he is going to take a Bizarre Adventure with me, and we're going to watch all of JoJo and watch an episode or a couple episodes a week and review them at the end of SU. I'm really looking forward to that.
Now, is that in English? Did I sign myself up for something that I didn't realize?
No, that is dubbed. That is dubbed. But JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, possibly the most memed anime of all time, but also possibly one of the greatest anime. I don't know which camp you are. It's the Cult of JoJo. I have blessed you and inaugurated you into the Cult of JoJo.
I have seen a lot of different memes and stuff that have referenced this show, but I've never seen the show.
It's one of the most memeable shows like possible. It's great. It's perfect. It's chef's kiss. It's the chef's kiss of anime. But yeah, so we started off watching The Way of the House Husband. Now, The Way of the House Husband, out of the three I picked, the order we watched them were the order in which I felt they would like them the most. The first one I picked when I went down the list in my head, I was like, all right, I'm going to pick Parasite. I've been meaning to have Webby and them watch that. I feel like they're going to like it. They're going to like it or they're going to hate it based on just what it's about. It'll either like the body horror will like turn off people and they won't like it, or if they can get past that and get to the premise of it, I think it's pretty cool. So I think they might like it. And then Shaman King, I was like, well, I've seen the original Shaman King and it was more of like a kidsy anime back then, but it wasn't done exactly right. Kind of like the original One Piece dub, separate issue, not getting into 4Kids dub. That's a whole separate SU episode at some point down the line of 4Kids butchering anime. But yeah, so Shaman King, I watched a couple episodes of Shaman King. I actually enjoyed the episodes I saw. I never actually finished it. It's on my list to finish, but I watched a couple episodes of Shaman King, of the new one anyway. And I was like, I'll throw it in there. I mean, it's, it strikes a couple of notes that I think that they may be able to lash onto and like. And I couldn't think of a third one. I was like, I could go King and Asura. I really like King and Asura like a lot. But that's just more personal for me. I don't think it's particularly a great anime, but I really enjoy it. But maybe that'll make the next anime recommendation list at some point. So I just said, well, what can I possibly do? I'm like, it has to be dubbed. I want to stick to all Netflix to make things easier. And I just want like something oddball and wild. So I'm like, Way of the House Husband. There we go. And that's the one we're going to start talking about first is Way of the House Husband. So Yeah, Way of the House Husband. The whole premise of the show is a former Yakuza leader or boss.
I called that shit from the big get-go. As soon as I saw this guy, I was like, is this guy a Yakuza?
Turned house husband. He's married now. He's using his skills to be the ultimate house husband. He just wants to support his wife and his family. That's all he wants to do. And he keeps finding himself in strange and odd situations. Some of them based on his past, but his past usually causes some difficulties in those situations. So, Rob, what did you think of The Way of the House Husband?
It was very odd. Like, it felt almost like it was a parody of an anime. Like,
it kind of, yeah, I can see that.
I mean, if I feel like it's more of a comedy than anything else. Like,
no, it is. The genres it falls in is action, comedy, slice of life. Which I will say, as I get older, slice of life anime are becoming like they're my bread and butter animes. I do love slice of life animes. They're my bread and butter animes. Not my bread and butter all the time, but like they hit a certain niche, and I kind of like them because I'm getting older, and I try to hold on to as much of my life experiences and childhood as I can. But anyway,
I mean, I thought it was funny. It's probably not one I'm going to continue to watch, but I did think it was funny. I liked at the end the dog, very much like Matilda, that got wrapped up and was like, "How did this happen? I don't understand."
Oh yeah, on the little cat's adventure.
Yeah,
fair. That's very fair. Like I said, no, that was the wild card pick. I said that like when we first started watching. I'm like, I don't expect you guys to like this because this Way of the House Husband's almost like having to. And if you've seen the show, you understand what the reference I'm making. You cannot watch, even though it's one of the best anime out there. You can't watch Gintama and really appreciate Gintama the anime without having a general love and appreciation for anime. Because it's an anime that is a parody to an extent, but it parodies a lot of other anime, and you don't get the references. It's just going to seem stupid and silly. And this is one of those where it's kind of not exactly like in the same way. There's just a lot of like slapstick, a lot of like dry, kind of like slapstick atmospheric humor that exists in a lot of anime. Another good anime that if you've seen this anime, which I don't think anyone's seen this anime, but I fucking love this anime, Katamari Damacy. If you've seen Katamari Damacy, the humor in that is very similar to Way of the House Husband. Katamari Damacy is freaking amazing. I will have them watch an episode of Katamari Damacy at one point, just maybe even off call, just to experience that show. But yeah, it is kind of like a parody. And I had a feeling I was like, okay, I'm going to just let this kind of like see what happens. I don't think they're going to like it, but I could be wrong. So, Webbs, how about you?
As far as this
Way of the House Husband.
Way of the House Husband show, I mean, I thought it was funny, but I thought it was funny in that way that it's like Rob said, like parody funny. Like this thing is supposed to be funny. But
not Katamari Damacy. It's a video game.
I don't know. Like between the anime style, like the art style, the concept of it, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's for me. I'm in the same boat with Rob. I don't think I'm going to continue watching it unless I'm like I told you that night. Unless I'm like really drunk or like inebriated in some fashion, where I would find extra giggly times watching this. I think it's one of those shows that is going to end up slipping by and through the cracks for me.
Fair.
I do appreciate what they did story-wise, how you have like this Yakuza boss, and the only thing he cares about is being this house husband. Like he ran in the show, he ran into somebody who was his underling at one point, who tried to hold him at gunpoint or something, and he had just bought in like winter mittens, and then he left the mittens on the guy And then the guy had like an existential crisis breakdown and remembered like when his mother gave him mittens as a kid. So then he started crying. And the guy's just like, the main guy's just like, it's going to get cold outside. Have some mittens. And then he walks away. It's like, well, okay. Sure. You know, but every time he's, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not forced, but like put into a situation where he seems nervous almost, or not really nervous. It's like I'm talking particular in the scene in the car where like he runs and he like breaks through the window of the car and then he starts running. You think he's running from the problem, but really he's running to go fulfill like a sale because he has like a points card or something.
Yeah, he's trying to make a sale. So you think he's running from danger, and he's not running from danger. He's running towards the sale, and it kind of just becomes like a funny thing. Like he just like wraps the perceived threat up into his scheme. He's like, "Hey, you guys got free hands. Come with me," and then like he chews them out when they fail at like grabbing enough items at the end of all that. He chews them out.
Yeah.
About them really. These are the guys that were trying to kill him a minute ago. He chews them out for like failing at grabbing items and everything else, and then like he runs into like one of his old subordinates, and they end up in a cooking class together.
Now I do have a question because I'm guessing you've seen more of this than we have.
Yeah, I've seen a couple more episodes of it.
Does his wife know what he used to be?
If I remember correctly, she does.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, she does.
All right.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it'd be funnier if she didn't, and then she finds out later.
Yeah, no, I feel like she does. But I feel like it's one of those things where like she knows what he does, and she knows what he does, and she can keep him in check, and it's like funny because nobody else can. Like when she came in the house and like beat his ass because he was trying to kill himself because he bought her the CD she already had. And then she like kicked him out the window.
DVD set. Yeah.
And then she like kicked him out the window.
Yeah. So.
Which is a great way to stop someone from killing themselves. Like, I'm going to stop you from killing yourself. I'm going to kick you out this window. Like, wait a minute. Also, real quick, slight amendment. I said Katamari Damacy. That's a video game. Cromartie High School is what I was thinking of. Cromartie High School is hilarious in a stupid, just like real stupid way. And there's no other way I can explain it. They have Freddie Mercury as a character in the anime.
Like the whole point, like actually Freddie Mercury, like somebody voicing Freddie Mercury, or
like actually Freddie Mercury. His name is Freddie. He's mute. He's mute, and he has a nearly uncanny resemblance to Freddie Mercury, lead singer of the band Queen. There's also a gorilla, who is a character, and basically the whole premise of the show is just he enrolls in this school, which is a school for delinquents. And it's just like a bunch of hijinks ensue. Everybody's dumb. Nobody's smart. Everybody's dumb. And it's a stupid show. There's no way I could describe this show to you. It's stupid. Like, it's completely stupid. Like, a lot of stuff has no context. It's just funny. And yeah, it's a show that is like, you will watch it, you will laugh your ass off, and it will make your head hurt. You'll be like, why?
And that's not this show, right? That's a different show that you're talking about? All right. So yeah, Way of the House Husband. I don't think it's going to make the chopping block for me or Rob anyway. So.
Which is fine. I pretty much said at the beginning I had a feeling that was going to be the case.
Okay. What was the next one?
Next one we had was Shaman King. Shaman King, which is the Netflix animated series that is a remake of a older animated series that came out in like a while ago. It's a remake of the original one when it came out, I think, in 2001. Yeah, 2001. So it's 20 years later.
West Side.
It came out. And the first one wasn't bad. It was just like I said. I'm thinking it was done by 4Kids in the States, and it wasn't like adapted correctly. It was never finished. So they remade it. I always liked the show. Originally, it was a pretty good show. I was really excited when they brought it over here for like the remake. And I was like, I think it has enough elements in there where I might be able to like get you guys to like at least be remotely interested in it. So, about a kid named Yo. He's a shaman. He can see spirits. He has a partner spirit. He has a partner spirit. Well, he acquires a partner spirit, a Minamaru, and he is on a role to be the Shaman King. And that's basically the show. First episode, I mean, I think this one you guys said you enjoyed it somewhat more.
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question. You said this is a remake.
Yes.
Is there a reason why they stopped making the original one?
I mean, technically, I think it completed the show. It just wasn't very good. So this
like
happened
the
a
art
lot.
style wasn't good, or the story wasn't, or the reception of it.
It was. So in the same way they remade Full Metal Alchemist with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, where they kind of went in Full Metal Alchemist, they went off from the source material, and they kind of just did their own thing. If I'm not mistaken, the original Shaman King did the same thing. The 2001 Shaman King did the same thing. It kind of deviated from the source material and did its own thing.
Gotcha.
And then and then they decided to remake it and more closely follow the source material. And it also did not help, especially for the States, that, again, it was done by 4Kids. 4Kids is notorious for butchering. What you call it? 4Kids is notorious for butchering anime. That's just the best way I can put it out there. They have notoriously butchered every anime because for dumb reasons, like when they did One Piece, the dub was awful. Not only was the dub awful, they replaced like the pirates' muskets with like super soakers.
Okay.
And then like portrayed that as like actual like a threat. Like, let's see, hold on for a second. Yeah, I think the 4Kids. So to give you like an idea of one of their, I'm trying to get like a bigger picture of one of their like just blatantly stupid edits that they did. Like it's not even like a legit edit, right? Like, so I want to show you two pictures, right?
Okay.
So this is the original here.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about this pompadour guy from this show too.
Yes, we do. That's the original in one scene right there, right?
I'm guessing that's the nerdy kid in the original.
This is One Piece. This is a different show.
Okay.
I'm just saying this is what like stuff like 4Kids has done. So that's the original. This is how 4Kids decide to edit that.
What the hell is this all about? What?
Yeah, that was their way of making that more kid friendly. Or you have one of the characters smokes. So instead of like just letting him smoke, they drew a lollipop on top of the cigarette. So he just eats lollipops all the time. And then you have characters who use guns, and they replaced it with a squirt gun. So they just did dumb shit like that. The dubs was terrible. The translation sucked. It was just all bad. It was just kind of not a good show. And One Piece is probably the worst of them all. But 4Kids is notoriously for fucking up a lot of anime like that, and just making dumb decisions on stuff like that.
Yeah, I've noticed that there were guns in Yu-Gi-Oh, and they're just erased, so people are constantly like pointing their fingers at people.
Yu-Gi-Oh is like dark. Like there's like Yu-Gi-Oh is like weirdly dark. The original Yu-Gi-Oh is really dark. That never actually came to the States. It's only like 5 or 6 episodes. That shit's real dark. But because in that one they don't even talk about the Shadow Realm. They just straight up be like, no, you're gonna lose your life if you lose this duel. And then I love in the original subbed in one of the Yu-Gi-Oh episodes, Kaiba's legitimately he's about to lose a duel, so he legitimately just jumps on top of a tower and goes, yeah, if you attack me and kill me, I'm gonna jump off this tower and die. So yeah, you can do it, but
the guy's got a gnarly super soaker on the right hand side, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gnarly super soaker. Should be a gun though, but it's a gnarly super soaker. Yeah, so they just do random weird things all the time.
Just to try to make things more kid friendly.
Yeah, that's it. Which, to a degree, okay, but then when you start changing the script and changing everything, visual stuff, not the biggest deal. But then the dubbing is terrible. The actual dub voices are terrible. It's all bad. So it was just not great.
Yeah.
Which, if that's your only way to watch it, it kind of forced you to watch sub anyway. So people were just fuck it, and then they just stopped watching that. And then Shaman King, like I said, the first anime wasn't terrible. It just wasn't as good as the remake. Is more source reliant, more source not reliant source.
No, is the original was done by these 4Kid thing people?
Yeah, it was dubbed in for the States and 4Kids and everything like that. So I mean, yeah. So it's a reboot. It's a reboot.
Okay.
Which is nice. But yeah, so yeah. I mean, how did you guys like Shaman King? Now that I went on my tangent for a minute there.
I definitely liked it more than the House Husband one, just in the art style. And like I've told you, I'm kind of big when it comes to art style. If a show doesn't strike me, especially specifically anime, if a show doesn't hook me in aesthetically with the art, I'm probably not going to like it. Because I already go into anime with the assumption that I don't like it. I don't know why. That's how it's always been. Maybe because of all the animes that I have seen. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. I haven't liked, there have been much fewer that I have liked than I haven't. You know what I mean? So artistically going into this one, much better. I liked the art style of this one. It was fine until what I could only explain as the cemetery of sperm came out. All the ghosts were sperm.
So that just becomes understanding how Japanese depict ghost. So
they were like Boo from Mario, just without a face, really.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Mario is a Japanese game.
Yeah.
Boo is a ghost in that game. So that's exactly how in a lot of when they're not in their whatever form they're in, human form or whatever form they're in most Japanese anime, that's how ghosts are portrayed.
Right.
Just as floating clouds or floating sperm, if you will.
Right.
And that's how they're portrayed. So that's how that kind of works out. But
yeah, and then there was it was a joke at the time, which it still is. I mean, looking back on it, but he Man, he does not ask for consent when he jams that samurai guy into his chest and becomes one with him. He's just like, yo, we're partners, and he just jams his ass into his chest. It's like, oh, okay. I guess he is the shaman guy. He's allowed to just jam ghosts into him.
With the sword maker and stuff?
Yeah.
Webby joked and said it was ghost rape.
It was ghost rape. There was no consent involved. Even when you're dead, there should be consent. But yeah, no, I could see myself continuing to watch that show to see where it goes. But of the three, it wasn't my favorite. I think you did pretty good putting the one, saving the best for last, as far as I'm concerned. So.
Yeah, like I said, I had a feeling you guys would like Parasite. It was either you guys were going to like Parasite or you were going to hate Parasite. It was one of the two. It was literally one of the two. I didn't know which one it was going to be. And here we are. So, Rob, what do you think about Shaman King, sir?
I mean, mostly the same. I liked it better than House Husband. The main character kind of annoyed me. He's one of those characters where, like, I'm great at everything. I was afraid it's going to be eventually turn into another Bleach, where it's just like, hey, I know all about spirits and blah, blah, blah. Like, you're kind of seeing it from the point of view of the short guy, I guess, but I don't know. It just annoyed me that he's like, yeah, I'm listening to music, and I can control ghosts, and there's nothing, like, I do everything perfectly. I don't know.
Yeah, like, I'm already as good as I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. Like, he was, like, really arrogant, I guess. I don't know. I didn't like him.
Hey, but I don't know. If you could see and talk to ghosts and jam a ghost into your chest and learn all of their capabilities, I think you might be a little on the arrogant side, too. That's all I'm saying. This motherfucker jammed a samurai into his chest and became, like, a master sword fighter.
I mean, I would do better to try and hide my arrogance, but, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Just saying, man, ghosts, they change the way you think.
Fair.
I don't know, I'm assuming he gets a bigger team at some point, because the opening showed a lot of people.
Yeah, he does.
We only got introduced to, like, 2 characters in this episode, so I'm sure it's more rounded out when there's more people.
And we kind of got teased at one of them at the end of the first episode. His Vegeta, if you will.
His Vegeta?
Yeah, his
antagonist.
The Vegeta to his Goku. That was the guy that got, like, teased at the end of the first episode. Like the Sasuke to his Naruto.
Wait, why do I seem like I'm forgetting this? Is it the Pompadour guy?
He was the guy sitting on the wall at the very end with the other ghost.
The guy sitting on the wall at the very end who was, like, commenting on him. He was like, oh, he's got his very own spirit now.
Oh, I don't remember. For whatever reason, I don't remember that. I remember the nerdy kid.
Yeah. No, it was somebody we hadn't seen.
Pompadour guy is just Pompadour guy. We're not talking about Pompadour guy. But we can talk about Pompadour
guy. We need to talk about Pompadour guy. That guy had a fucking forward Pompadour that was fucking, like, as long as he was tall.
That is not that uncommon in anime.
Yeah, well, I'm glad his got cut in half.
It's not uncommon at all in anime. There are a lot of Pompadours going around in anime.
But why, though?
Just the way it is. It's usually on delinquent. It's usually on delinquents. It's usually just kind of like the hairstyle of, like, it's been seen as, like, the hairstyle of the delinquent back in the day of, like, old school anime. The Pompadour always was, and then, like, as different art styles have gone on, they've just, like, extenuated it more and more and more to the point where it was like that you saw. But, like, it's not uncommon to have, like, insane Pompadours in anime. Like, here's another random one.
Yeah, I don't like it. Like,
I'm not saying. I mean, it's not my favorite personal hairstyle either in anime. Like, it's definitely not it's not a main character.
No, okay. This is what I have to say. Everybody says, "Oh, to each their own," blah blah blah. No, if especially in real life, if anyone has this type of hairstyle, I know you can't see it, but this crazy ass forward pompadour that sticks out like a foot in front of your face, you're a douchebag. You should get your hair cut, and you should feel bad about your life choices. Plain and simple. Yep, like that guy. That guy's a douchebag. I know that's a cosplay or whatever, but I mean, if anybody ever had actual hair like that, you're a douche. Figure it out. Yeah, both of those guys, douchebags. The one on the left, a little less so. The one on the right is like, oh, this is my pompadour wig, and it's windy out. I can't hold it down.
I don't think that's a wig.
Well, that's even worse.
Because here's like the same guy at a different angle. I don't think it's a wig.
That's terrible. It's a terrible hairstyle. And if it's like a common hairstyle, okay, this is going to sound racist because all these pictures are of Japanese people that you're sending. If this is a common hairstyle amongst, say, like the Yakuza, you're a bunch of fucking douchebags. You really need to fucking sort your shit out, get your hair organized, and go amongst your crime. That's all I gotta say.
It's not a popular hairstyle amongst Yakuza. It's not.
I fucking hope not. Because honestly,
first off, that guy's not Yakuza. Let's start with that.
Well, I'm not saying that guy specifically is. All I'm saying is if I met a Yakuza tomorrow who had that hairstyle, I could not take him committing a crime against me seriously.
That's fine.
Okay.
I didn't see that hairstyle at all in Kill Bill. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like often real hairstyle. It's usually played up for like jokes. Like I said, you have pompadours like IRL occasionally, or in like what do you call it?
Yeah, like the guy on the right in the second to last picture. Like that's.
You mean the guy on the left?
I've seen that, or the guy on the left. Sorry.
The Canadian, right?
Yeah, and usually it's just an anime. It's just stylized up to the extreme because you're not meant to like that guy. Like usually when that's happened, you're not meant to like that guy. So usually that guy will have that kind of hairstyle, and then if you're meant to like him, he will be given a likable personality on top of that, and then it'll kind of like balance itself out in a weird way. You're like, I hate this guy, but also all right.
So,
like a Kuwabara from fucking Yu Yu Hakusho. Like he has a pompadour hairstyle, not that extreme, but he has pompadour hairstyle, and like it's like okay, this hairstyle looks like an idiot, but then it's like okay, but he's also kind of he's kind of like enduring at the same time. So.
Tilly's at the door, by the way. So the two guys from the anime pictures that you sent,
yes,
before the crazy cosplay pompadour one,
yep,
because that's insanity. Are those two quote unquote bad guys?
No, Boulette is. You've seen Boulette before.
I don't know.
He's the guy in Akame ga Kill that the main guy gets his suit of armor from that dies. Spoiler alert.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's Boulette.
Which one's he? The one wearing black or the one wearing purple?
The one wearing black. The one wearing purple, I think, is a bad guy.
They're all terrible people, and they should feel bad about their life choices.
I can make this so much worse for you, but I'm not going to.
Don't. The last picture you sent me is already horrible.
No. I'm not going to send a picture. I can just make this so worse for you.
The last guy that you sent the picture of literally looks like he shaved his head back and just let his hair like flap in the wind.
It's possible.
He's like, this is a stylistic choice for me. It's like, you're dumb. You shouldn't do things like that.
I mean, you say it's dumb, but then you have like people who like wear their hair like this, like. Point is, what I'm saying is, I think every culture.
Hold on, you didn't send the picture. There's people who wear their hair like what? Well, I mean, that's a life choice too, man. And he was also not hugged enough as a child and or disciplined enough, I guess. Nope, Sam, that guy looks like he's got elf ears going on. That's just like a really weird,
Jeez.
like flat top mullet. I don't know. It's too much shit going on. And that's a school picture, it looks like. Alright, that she looks like she literally got stuck in a ceiling fan and they just detached the ceiling fan. Like they're like, oh, this is just gonna be easier if
It's a helicopter. It's a helicopter.
Yeah, well, it. Literally looks like her hair got tangled up in a ceiling fan. Why? See, it's people like him that like. Why? Like what? What made him wake up that morning and say this is a good choice? Like nothing about that is normal. Like I'm getting weirded out because my hair is growing out on its sides like Dr. Robotnik, so I know that it's time to shave my head. I think everybody should just have a shaved head.
A Dr. Robotnik hairstyle. Just twirl out the sides.
Well, that's what mine gets like on the sides. It starts sticking out a lot, so it's like, oh, I know it's time for a haircut.
But you should exaggerate it, like the pompadour.
No,
a pompadour on each side going sideways.
I refuse. I refuse to be. I mean, I feel like he did that after shooting a movie, just to show. I don't know why he kept it like that, but sure.
Kind of like the Mystique costume with the half pilot, half Mystique.
Yeah.
It's like half crazy bush guy, half shaved face guy.
But see, like, I refuse to do, like, the exaggerated Dr. Robotnik look and then take any type of picture of it, because then it's going to end up like the guy above him. It's like, I don't want to be on I don't want to be on the internet looking like that.
He was doing something. That guy's my hero.
That guy took his shit serious, too. You could tell.
That guy's my hero.
He's got the little fucking the little mustache beard line that looks like a ball bag on the side of his face.
Yeah, it looks like a ball and penis on the side of his face hanging off. I don't understand why.
That guy's my idol now.
How much mousse did he put in his hair to make his hair stay like that?
Enough.
I bet you could throw like a small mouse at him and it would like get impaled on his hair.
There you go.
Like it would just get stuck.
That is my new Discord picture.
Did you seriously just say, yeah, you did?
That's my new Discord
That's fucked
picture.
up. People are going to be like, Devin was a cool guy. Then he fell off the rails.
This would not be SU if it were not a bunch of weird visuals.
That's not the result of falling off the rails. That's the result of doing multiple rails.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
This guy's probably the worst of everybody. This fucking guy right here. God damn it.
I don't know. The one above the dude who shaved half his face, half his head. That one's, I don't know. That one's bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. I feel like he did this on purpose. Like, this was not a joke. This was a choice, too. He looks way too serious having that hair. I don't know, but the guy with the glasses, like 3 pictures up, man, not good. Just give me the Krusty the Clown. Okay. I mean, I get it. I see it.
Yeah, double beard guy bothers me. Like, why?
Yeah, double beard guy. Double beard guy still has it. That's so far still the most disturbing picture you've posted. Even over like the pompadour people, like just the double beard guy. I don't even know. We're gonna have to.
You know what's worse too? If he lets it grow for a little bit longer, you're gonna have double beard guy growing into his chest hair. It's almost growing into his chest hair.
Yeah.
I imagine the audience going, "What the fuck is a double beard?" Like,
he's got a goatee, and then he has a spot where he's shaved. And then he has the rest of his beard.
If he was wearing a hoodie, it would look like he just had a goatee. But then if you take it off, there's like an extra beard beyond the goatee. It's very freaky. I don't like it.
In all honesty, it looks like he had a full beard, and he has like this scraggly long hair to go with it. But it looks like he had a full beard, and he shaved around just underneath his chin in like a strap to see what he would look like with just a goatee.
And
of
just
some
left it that
fashion,
way.
and then just left it there.
Oh my god.
Nah, man, nah.
All right, now that we've successfully filled dead air, and I'm almost dying. Now that we've successfully filled dead air, or like not dead air, but we've extended the runtime of this anime, or this extended the runtime of this fucking. This is our mid-anime SU fucking like split off.
It would not be SU if we didn't go off on some kind of crazy tangent.
Right.
And usually it's a visual tangent, which the audience can't see.
It's true. I'm dying. It's okay though. But anyway, so last one is Parasite. Parasite, about a guy. One night, he gets assaulted by like a weird parasitic alien space bug that tries to drill into his head and eat his brain or take over his brain. He tourniquets his arm to stop it from that, and it stops in his arm. And then his arm becomes its own sentient being, and can like transform and morph and looks like the dude from Real Little Monsters and talks to him, and it becomes his new best friend. Kind of. So yeah.
I learned from this show that earbuds can save your life.
Yes, earbuds can in fact save your life. So if you ever fall asleep with earbuds and you feel like you have worms crawling up your arm, tourniquet that shit. Also, by the way, high quality thinking on his part. That was very fast thinking. He gets the not Darwin Award of the day. He gets the opposite of the Darwin Award of the day. He gets the SU stamp approval of the day because that was a fast implementation of a good idea. Boom. There you go. There, yeah, it looks kind of like that guy, minus the chin hair.
Yep.
And the armpit hair. But yeah. So, Webby, what did you think of Parasite?
Or if you want a creepy, slightly more realistic version drawing, I guess, of it.
Yeah, there you go.
I liked it. I like the art style. I guess I kind of like the concept. Like, I don't know how to explain that part of it. Like, I like the idea that there's this thing inside of him that's kind of controlling his hand. Like, I was a big fan of, Idle Hand. I think it was Idle Hands. What was the name?
Seth Green?
Yeah.
Seth Green and, what's his name? The Jeremy Renner knockoff, Devin Siwa.
Yeah. I was a big fan of that movie. I really enjoyed that movie. And this kind of gave me flashbacks of that, where this guy sometimes has no control over what his hand is doing. But then this thing is sentient and learns and adapts and realizes, hey, you want control of your hand. I get bored when you talk. So how about when I go to sleep, which is almost all the time when he's talking to the thing, because this thing.
Webby enjoyed that. Webby enjoyed that very much.
Sleepy now.
Sleepy now. But he, this symbiotic relationship kind of like harkening back to like Venom almost, where it's like, okay, I'll give you control of your hand while I'm sleeping, but when I'm not sleeping, we're gonna have to work together on doing whatever it is that this thing wants to do or wants to accomplish.
Yeah. I also too like the thing. He's like, "What the hell are you?" And it's like, I don't know what the fuck I am.
Yeah.
It's like
you don't have anything
like,
on
I
your
don't know.
computer about my species.
Yeah, I have no memories or whatever. It's just like I don't know.
I was afraid at one point towards the end that Rob would hate this movie or hate this show because there was dog murder.
There was 2 dog murders.
It was dog murder.
And that's what made it better. Not like preferable, but it made it okay. It wasn't like humans being shitty to animals. It was animals being shitty to other animals.
And then, parasites being shitty to animals.
Parasites being shitty to other parasitic animals.
Yeah, they made it work, but yeah. I am curious, and I probably will have the highest chance of watching this one, continuing to watch this one, because I am curious as to what the motivations behind this parasite is. Obviously, it killed that other parasite because it sensed its murderous intent. So then it had to be put down. So does that mean that this parasite that's in this kid is a good parasite? What does that even mean? Ultimately, I'm curious as to what this thing's goal is overall.
Yeah, I mean, watching it, I don't think it was intending to be good because it did try to eat his brain.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, I have to work with you, so I'm going to learn your human values kind of thing and change.
Then you also kind of get into the whole conversation of good or bad in the sense that is it really good or bad because it doesn't even know what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, Venom it has a lot of like shades of Venom almost, where it's like Venom will do bad things, but sometimes for good-ish reasons. But at the same time, ultimately Venom is just a parasite too. It's having to live, symbiotically with its host. Same thing that this thing is.
Only thing with Venom is it knows where it came from.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. It knows where it came from.
But it also knows that it can't survive very long without, Eddie Brock or whoever else has been Venom over the years. I'm not even going to get into that, but Eddie Brock is the most famous.
Right.
So, and this thing, I'm wondering if this thing's going to get into like in the show where like the kid runs into like a life or death situation almost, but like a normal human kind of one. Like where like a bully's gonna beat him up at school, or he's being held up or something like that, and then all of a sudden the parasite's going to flare into existence and save his life. We already saw it. He saved a little girl and stuck out his arm, and the parasite stopped a car. Well,
technically, the parasite saved him too because he jumped in front of the car to get the girl.
Yeah,
and the parasite was like, "No car.
Yeah,
you're gonna get yourself killed."
So, I mean, I am curious to see if there are other, like, just, like, slightly more mundane life or death situations that he runs into, like, more common ones that the parasite gets him out of, just out of a need to keep this guy alive.
I like, too, that right after the car thing, he was, like, gonna stab his hand, and the parasite just breaks the knife, throws it back at him, and it sticks in the ceiling, and he's like, I'm tired now.
Yep.
Back into bed.
It's like whenever whenever his hand doesn't want to have a conversation, it gets tired and goes to bed.
Which is kind of like what I do.
Just so you know, Devin, I used to play the shit out of this. Don't know if you ever played it. It was great.
Yep, it was. So yeah, that's kind of like what I do. When I want to have a conversation, I just kind of go to bed. Say, fuck it, I'm out.
I mean, fair. I want to know, okay, if this kid goes to masturbate and he uses his non-parasite hand, is the parasite going to feel, like,
hold on,
slighted?
Hold on. Here's a picture from the manga.
Of Parasite?
Yep.
Oh, that reminds me, I do have to,
There you go.
What the fuck? It turns into a giant penis in the manga?
It does. For like one scene, just as like that's a joke, but it does do it. It does do it.
I will say, where did I see this? Like I had mentioned that I saw. I knew of this anime through cosplays. Before even watching the anime, really. God damn it, I can't find a picture of it now. Hold, please. Continue talking. I'll find this. It was mainly the hand that gave it away for me. Oh, that's disturbing. You can
I'll say that I will probably check out a couple more episodes of this too, at least, because it did seem the most interesting of the three.
Yeah.
And also, this was the one with the random crotch shot, which I don't understand what the fuck. Because he's like sleeping in bed and he goes to turn over and it just zooms in on his crotch for no reason, and then it just shows his face again. I was like, what the hell?
Just fan service. It's all fan service, Rob.
He grabbed the girl's boob.
He did grab the girl's boob. Or the parasite grabbed the girl's boob.
Yep.
Somebody grabbed the girl's boob. There was boob grabs.
He grabbed the boob of the girl that tried to karate chop him in the back, but he did not grab the nerdy girl with the glasses boobs. She wanted it, I could tell. Because as soon as he let go of the other girl, she was like, "Hey, I'm right here. Hi. What are you doing? Here are my boobs."
Right.
I mean, I don't think she said it exactly like that, but yeah. Sure.
I'm reading between the lines, Devin.
Oh, okay.
Well, the one that I found, I don't feel comfortable posting because reasons.
Just PM it instead of posting it.
But here's one of the
I'm
pictures.
I'm not keeping the penis arm up.
Well, yeah. But here's one of the pictures of a cosplay that I had seen prior to watching this, and it really caught me off guard. I was like, "What the fuck's up with this guy's hand?" Now I know. So.
Oh, that's the fighting hand, the deadly claws.
Yeah.
That it killed the dog with. I like too that the character's like a buttoned up nerdy guy with glasses. This guy's like, I'm not gonna wear any glasses. I'm gonna have my shirt open.
Right. Well, I mean, the original picture that I had seen was from a cosplayer called Liz Katz, who, let's just say, did she utilized the hand, I guess. That's the only part of the cosplay that really made sense, was the hand, looking back at it. So, but yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I'll probably end up watching a few more episodes of this, or maybe even continuing it on down the line. I want to know more about this parasite and its motivations, I guess. So it's got that hook in me, at least.
Yeah, that's good.
So I mean, I apologize to the house husband. You're not making the cut.
That's fine. That's fine. I literally picked that one. It's like a wild card. Random threw out there. It was like, hey, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, it's cool.
That being said, if kids nowadays watched Our Real Monsters, how many parents do you think would get upset about it?
I mean, to be fair, if kids nowadays watch Ren and Stimpy, how many parents would get upset about it?
It's true.
Like this scene right here. Hold on 1 second. I gotta.
Saw a picture earlier of Kylo Ren and Kylo Stimpy. That made me chuckle.
Like this whole scene right
I mean,
here.
looking back on it, yeah, I understand why. Yeah, exactly. Looking back on it, I understand why. Like, my mom never really wanted me to watch shit like this, but I mean, as a kid, you didn't understand it at the time. It was just entertaining.
There's that one.
Oh yeah.
Smiley face.
Yep.
God, that's like a photoshopped mouth onto her hand too. I feel.
Yep.
Fucking Ren and Stimpy. Anyway. Alright, we're about the hour mark. Any other closing questions you have for us or anything like that, Devin? Or has picking these three choices, has that given you any ideas of of future ones that you're going to want us to watch, other than I already did tell you that I would watch that JoJo show.
Yeah. I mean, no, I think that's pretty much going to be. I don't have any other follow-up questions. I'm just going to keep digging for some more anime that is dubbed and readily available, and then we're going to see if I can find something that you guys are super into.
All right, give me 2
I know,
seconds.
my last
Keep
time
talking.
I got Rob into Black Butler.
Yep. I watched that all the way to the end.
Yep. I mean, I could pander and do Yuri on Ice, but nobody wants to cry, and that's just a beautiful gay love story. So I mean, that's all that is. That's literally all Yuri on Ice is.
With a sad ending, of course, because it's always the way.
No, it's really
you
not.
You just said it would make you cry.
It just makes you cry because it's beautiful.
Oh.
It's not sad at all.
All right, I'm back. All right. With that, I didn't do a sufficient amount of research yet for my science corner. But Rob, do you have a science corner for this week?
Yes. Well, it's they found out they've been doing studies on the astronauts at the International Space Station, and they found that being in space is not good for the human body. That being in space destroys 54% more red blood cells in your body than it normally would, and it's called space anemia. And they finally found out the cause, which...
I thought this was something that they knew about for a long time already.
Yeah, but they didn't realize they thought it was a temporary thing, but apparently it's not.
It has to do with living in zero gravity, right?
Yeah, they still didn't understand why. They thought it was because moisture and stuff came out of your blood, of your body, but what was the cause? I look up the article again. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it says, while on the ground on Earth, astronauts create and destroy about 2 million blood cells per second during their time in orbit. However, they were destroying 3 million blood cells and still only creating around 2. In microgravity, the human body loses about 10% of its liquid through blood vessels as blood accumulates in the head and chest. That's why astronauts sometimes look swollen in videos. For years, this was the explanation for the space anemia, but that's not what current studies have found.
It's really the fact that they all have parasites in them feeding off their blood vessels.
But yeah, I don't really understand it says something to do with iron moving through your body faster than normal because of the low gravity. But it says it's not. They thought it was just a temporary thing, but it's not. It's not as bad when you come back to Earth, but it's still astronauts still destroy more blood cells in their body than they did when they were just before they went into space.
No, it's
so now they're worried.
They can't recover from it, is what they're saying? Or
well, it recovers, but not as much. It's not as good as it was before they went into space. It's better than when they were in space, but when you come back, it doesn't recover completely. So now they're worried about if we're sending people to Mars, like the longer trip through space might cause problems like that. It says about 3 to 4 months after returning, their blood levels turn to closer to normal, but even years after the space flight is done, the astronauts are still destroying 30% more red blood cells than before their trip to space.
All right. Well, sorry, astronauts. Devin, do you have a life advice?
Do I have a life advice?
Do you have a life advice?
Do I have a life advice? On paper, I do not, but...
Let's pluck one from the Devin storage vault.
Yup, that's what I'm in the process of doing. There you go. There you go. Here you go, guys. You believed your ex wasn't a piece of shit for like 8 months? Then you can believe in yourself for 5 seconds. Boom. There you go. Life advice.
All right. With that being said, where can people find you on the internet, Rob?
You can find me on Twitter at Confessor_X and on Twitch at twitch.tv/ConfessorX.
Where can people find you, Devin?
You guys can find me on Twitter at DMP_Pookie, on Twitch at MrD3, and you find me on eBay trying to buy a new life advice book because I'm running out of life advice, guys. My life's pretty. It's pretty. So, yeah.
All right, and as always, everybody, you guys can follow me on Twitter at JaxForestWalker, all one word, on Twitch at DMWebby, and on eBay at stealing life advice books from people to give to Devin. But let's be honest, if you have to steal life advice, you're not in really a good spot. You're not in a good way. I probably need help. I think I need help, guys. Thank you for listening. We love you. Fuck Booster Gold, all that good jazz. See you next week.
I believe in myself.
What?
And now I'm
pun?
done.
Is this a pun?
No,
Is there a pun
I'm
coming?
done. Nope. 5 seconds. Now I don't believe in myself anymore.
Oh, because of Devin's life advice.
Yeah.
I was just really scared there was a pun coming.
Nope.
Okay.
I only know 20.
Hey, Rob, how do cats like their steak?
How?